Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, peace, love, and blessings to the elect scattered abroad around the four corners of the earth. I say shalom, shalom unto you. All right, and mainly in Babylon the Great. Okay, and the title of this lesson is Judah and Israel oppressed together. All right, because this is just, fair use of more receipts, okay, and documents on how the so-called Latinos and Native Americans are of the same people as the blacks, the Jamaicans, and the Haitians, which all consist of the 12 sons of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, you are the chosen people of the Lord. All right. And also a good precept for that, Romans 8:16. For our spirit bear witness within ourselves that we are the children of the Most High Yahweh, man. All right. And all this happened through prophecy. All right. That Esau, Edom, the so-called white man that conquered us and also conquered the northern kingdom, which symbolizes Israel, and also Ephraim. All right. The name Ephraim, which Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans, which is the head tribes of the whole nation of the northern kingdom. All right. The nation of Israel, as their title is named in the scriptures. And also Judah symbolizes the southern kingdom. OK. But you see the title, Kill the Indian, Save the Man. You can read this. It's an actual book. And it's basically a genocide on, the Native Americans. All right. And also the Seminole Indians. Can't forget about them, too. All right. Which put up more of a fight than the Native Americans. All right. Just to, throw that out there, because that's how just Reuben is. Reuben actually is the firstborn son. OK. And I just want to make this short and sweet. And there's something else I looked up on blood quantum laws. And it says blood quantum laws or Indian blood laws are laws in the United States that define Native American status by fractions of Native American ancestry. Salakia. These laws were intact by the federal government and state governments as a way to establish legal, define racial population groups. By contrast, many tribes did not include blood quantum as part of their own enrollment criteria. All right. You can read out further history. All right. The Indian Removal Act and the Trail of Tears led a major enumeration. Let me look up that word, because I looked up that word before.
Enumeration.
The acting of mentioning a number of things one by one. The action of establishing a number of something. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, that's basically the same thing. Okay. The measuring. I'll look at Wikipedia. Enumeration is a complete ordered listing of all the items in a collection. The term is commonly used in mathematics and computer science. All right. And basically a sensor. All right. And that's the same thing that they do upon basically, our people and stuff like that, man. Let me look up something else. Hold on. Indian Removal Act of 1934. See, all these things happen until the Northern Kingdom blood quantum laws. All right, so let me type in Jim Crow laws. And by the way, we got conquered by this same devil, man. Okay? We got conquered by this same devil. But at the end of the day, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai through prophecy is raising up the nations, man. All right? That's how you know that the people are coming together as one, as the nation of Israel. The people of the Lord is arising, man, as we speak, as I'm doing this video. All right. By us speaking out there, putting on our righteous garments. All right. Through the Spirit, we're chanting down the land of our captivity, man. We're chanting down our oppressors, man, which is Esau, Edom. All right. And Esau, Edom has taken down both southern and northern kingdom by under many names: the French, the British, the Spanish. All right. So on and so forth, man. Because that's who conquered our people as a whole. Okay, Jim Crow laws. And it's basically, at the end of the day, they put that chokehold, that restriction, all right, upon this nation, or both nations, man. All right. So that's what it's boiling into. This is the receipts and the cold hard facts. And you can just, and like I said, they got videos out here, man. They got real life books, non-fictional books. That means real life events, current events that happened in the past, man. All right. The Northern Kingdom went under captivity under the Assyrian kingdom. OK. And what happened through prophecy, they escaped that captivity just to end up back in the same predicament they was in before, man. And why? Because they started to falling away from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, worshiping those mainly. And that's another thing that I noticed through the Spirit, worshiping those same sun gods that they have been partaking of when they was under the heathens captivity under the Assyrians. All right. Because the Assyrians worship the sun god, I think Assur, Assur. All right. The Jim Crow laws were state and local laws introduced to southern United States in the late 19th century and the early 20th centuries and enforced racial segregation, Jim Crow being a Hold on. I'm sorry.
Pejorative
term for an African American, all right, which is basically boils down to the Southern Kingdom. All right. So basically, at the end of the day, Esau, Edom oppressed, Judah and Israel together. And at the end of the day, what main prophecy did that happen? And what time a current event did that really happen? When, first and foremost, when the 10 tribes came over here, going back to 2nd Ezra 13 and 40, Lord will I can get that. All right. And then when they figure out where, the Southern Kingdom was located, and that was through prophecy, because 70 AD prior happened a little before that time. All right. Way before that time, when 70 AD happened, you can read a book called Babylon and Timbuktu. Israel, the Southern Kingdom, all right, was in Jerusalem around that time. The Northern Kingdom wasn't. They was already technically over here in this land. All right. Through prophecy. OK, so while the Southern Kingdom was in Jerusalem, and when 70 AD happened, you can do history about that. When the Romans took down the temple, they dispersed, man. From Babylon to Timbuktu is a good book, if I haven't said it. But they dispersed and they scattered throughout all nations, throughout all lands. But mainly they hit a source in the western coast of Africa, and also different parts of the north, and I believe the eastern part of Africa as well. All right. They dispersed basically in the land of Ham. All right. Where they can easily, be hidden. But through prophecy, they was going to come over here to the Americans and be oppressed together with their fellow brethren. Kahalayim la Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That is the greatest movie ever, man. And that's how the Lord set it up. Because half of the time, if you read the scriptures throughout history, we was under different, really under different captivities. All right. The Assyrians had the Northern Kingdom for a while. The Babylonians had the southern kingdom, which technically were, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, were the Assyrians as well. All right. And then also, I think the ancient Babylonians before that were the Cushites. Either before them or after them were the Cushites. All right. The so-called Ethiopians. And, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, via through comment, and Lord will, I'll make a correction video and get the scriptures and the articles on it, because, hey, slip of the tongue. Everybody have their mess ups. That'd be much appreciated through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But back to the main lesson. All right. Both of these things happen to these nations, man. All right. Different captivities. And then they all linked up via through future prophecy, linked up in the whole same land, a.k.a. the great melting pot, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon, a.k.a. America. That is the place where Israel and Judah were oppressed together. All right, which I'm going to get a scripture on that. Matter of fact, let me get that second Ezra first, since I quoted it. It's talking, the first part talking about Lord Yahweh Shai, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Lord Yahweh Shai coming back. And that's future prophecy as well that it was talking about. All right, that Ezra had a chance to see through a vision. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 40. Those are, I started at 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceful multitude unto him. All right. And in future prophecy, that's the elect, man. That's that other peaceful multitude, future prophecy wise. Verse 40, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanezar, the king of Assyria, all right, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came into another land. Verse 41, but they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelled. Verse 42, they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. Again, via through prophecy, they was going to mess up again. All right. And it was a reason why they went under captivity and they got kicked out their own land from the beginning. And that's how, Jake, that's our people, man. Hard-headed, serving their own heart, their own desires, or whatever the case may be. All right. Not serving truly Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Verse 42, again, that they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. And they enter into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. And basically the Lord still helped them out and guide them through, because it was prophecy. It was the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for future prophecy to play along, for the elect to be awoken in the Babylon the Great. All right. Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Azareth. All right. And you can also read that, like I say, 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. All right. And also, Solomon had certain Navy men, which were of the heathen, that used to come back and forth getting resources from this unknown land. All right. That's another reason how the Northern Kingdom knew, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, know where to travel. All right. But because of all that, this was going to happen. And this was future prophecy too in the Old Testament. Ezekiel chapter 37. I start at verse 14. And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall have placed you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it. Thus saith Yahweh. The word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me again, saying, all right, and the Lord is putting his spirit upon us by going out there, ushering in the kingdom of heaven. Because by us doing this marvelous work of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and eventually prophecy is going to be fulfilled, we're going to be put into our righteous estate and back into our homeland, man. All right? Via through future prophecy. That is what is prophesied and destined for the people of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to obtain and to, receive the true blessings. Because we haven't received the kingdom of heaven yet. But it's in the making. We almost here, man. We tasting it, man. We just getting a little taste, a little sample. All right. Verse 15. The word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me again, saying, moreover, the son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and Manasseh, because Joseph had those two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, but mainly Ephraim because he is the head tribe. Though he was the youngest son, but the head tribe, he received the blessing of being the quote unquote leader of the northern kingdom, all through the spirit. And for all the house of Israel, his companions, the northern kingdom. All right. And we put unto that one stick, that plaque, that plank, that flat surface. All right. AKA the 12 tribes chart, which a lot of people go against. But like I say, when it's all said and done, you're going to see Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and also other people that look like heathens being beamed up in the ships. People that look like so-called white boys, so-called Asians, especially the ones, the ones that have been doing this work, the ones that's been ridiculed from the world because of their outward appearance, not seeing the spiritual appearance of them going out there preaching the word and receiving certain breakdowns and revelations through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. They can't see that, but they only see the outward appearance. But just wait and see when all hell breaks loose and when Jacob's trouble hit and the Lord is going to start delivering his chosen people, praying that I am of that chosen number. Abba Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Abba Ratazah. If it be his will. All right. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a messenger. I'm just preaching his word to the best of my ability so the kingdom of heaven could usher in, because we need the kingdom of heaven. We want the kingdom of heaven and we need the kingdom of heaven through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Cannot stress this shit enough. This is a wicked ass society and it's only going to get worse. And by us being here, man, hey, we going to go through the motions, man. All right. That's just us. But hey, we got Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai on our side, man, because we doing his work, doing his will. Verse 17, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, will thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Allahayim power. Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, the southern kingdom. That's what Judah, because Judah is the head tribe of the southern kingdom. And make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before their eyes. All right. And this wasn't talking about during the time of Ezekiel. This was quote unquote future prophecies, man. All right. share. No. Let me get Isaiah 11. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse. All right. And that's starting off, with King David. That came out of Jesse. All right. And a branch shall grow out of his roots. And that branch that came out of, King David was King Solomon. And throughout reincarnation, may you receive it or not, was Lord Yahweh Shai, man. You can read the genealogy in Matthew 1. It clearly tells you, if you have the spiritual eyes to see and the spiritual ears to hear, you can clearly hear and see that Lord Yahweh Shai was King Solomon. And also Isaac. All right. The son of Abraham. Who was the son of Abraham? Isaac. The chosen line came through Isaac. All right. Who was the son of David? Solomon. And throughout Solomon's years of his reign, 40 years of peace, paradise. That was just a little sample of how the kingdom of heaven is going to be, but more righteous and more forever. All right. Ain't going to have no time on it. Verse 2. And the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's ultimately the elect, man. Only the elect is standing out in great boldness, the true, 100% true men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, that know the count of the cost, all right? They count their costs, okay? They hate their lives unto death and still want to please and do the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And do not get offended in no type of matters, man. Always look at the spiritual matters, man. Always. I had to learn that. Always look at the spirituals. Because at the end of the day, the Lord did not have to choose you to become part of his glorious light. He really didn't. But he did through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, praying that we endure until the end, that the same must be saved or shall be saved. Okay. So, hey, we got to keep the ball going through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 3, and he shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But when the righteous shall judge the poor and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And the breath is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Lord gave upon the bones in the dry valley, or the dry bones in the valley. All right, the nation of Israel. All right, the true men that's going to worship Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in truth and in spirit. All right, the 100%, the 100%ers, as I, would like to call it, the true men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, verse 10, Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, which are the Israelite foreigners, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass, and it's going to read further down. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. All right. The Gentile seek, that's also his people that he's talking about in this passage. All right. Which shall be left from Assyria. All right. Where mainly northern kingdom was under. All right. And he's talking about Israelites that dwelt in these lands, that dwelt among these heathen nations. Which shall, okay, let me start. I'll start over. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed. You can look up that word dispersed, man. All right, which basically means the scattered people of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, the Israelites that were scattered among all nations. It just read the nations that it was scattered among his people, the remnant, the ones he's going to save. All right, the ones that's going to hear this truth. And that's why mainly via through Great Millstone, you got, you know, those camps in various parts of the world, especially in Europe. All right. And at one point in time, you know, you had one in the Philippines, you know, so on and so forth. So this thing, really, this truth is going global via through Great Millstone, via through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, through the Spirit, man. Verse 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations and assemble the outcasts of Israel, and to gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, the whole earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Basically, the Lord is going to close up the breach thereof between the differences of the tribes. Let me see if I can find that scripture. He's going to close them up and basically heal them, and they're going to become a whole. We're going to become a family again. All right. Yep. This is, I believe this is it. Should be through the Spirit. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 26. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold, as the light of 7 days, in the days that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai bindeth up the breach of his people, and healeth the stroke of their wound. All right. And ultimately, the Lord is going to heal us from all types of, you know, burdens and, you know, iniquities. And basically, we're going to be righteous all over again. And the Lord is going to heal up his people by bringing them together as a family. All right. He's going to bind them up. He's going to bind up the breach. He's going to heal the breach. He's going to heal up the differences, the envy. All right. The vexation of these different people. All right. Because at one point in time, these people really couldn't stand each other. But now we getting drawing closer to, you know, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach making his second return. Those breaches are being closed up through the Spirit, man. All right. The Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai letting it be known that the nation of Israel is the so-called Latinos, you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. Further down to the Seminole Indians, the Haitians, and the Jamaicans. Those are the people. We are all brothers, sisters, and basically one big ass family in a nutshell. Okay. Let me get Jeremiah, and I'm gonna close out, because that was just basically a account or a receipt, you know, letting it be known that we got to be the people of the Lord through the Spirit and power Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and that the Lord is going to heal us, and we're going to be in the kingdom of heaven, you know, being righteous, man, together. And it's going to be a beautiful day in that day too. After it's all said and done. I want to start at Jeremiah chapter 50 and 29. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. All right, and that's going into like World War III. All right, all these nations are going to turn on Babylon the Great, even its own allies. The confederacy of, you know, the confederate of thy confederacy shall basically be brought to naught. All right, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee, roughly paraphrasing. The Lord is going to bring these Edomites down, aka the Caucasian, elites. All right. He's going to bring them down through his allies and also his enemies. Let none thereof escape recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she have been proud against the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. All right, and that's the great day of judgment, Armageddon, or Armageddon. All right, the great valley of troops. All right, the mountain of troops. All right, World War III. All right, civil unrest. Basically, total destruction of the Babylonian Empire. All right, the virgin daughter of Babylon, the great whore that sit up upon the beast. All right, the great destruction that's going to happen in our lifetime, man. And Esau, Edom, being the so-called Caucasian race, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Job 9 and 24, and also Micah 2:1, man. It's like I say, it's just evidence that this devil is in rulership, and this devil is going to get taken out because of his pride, and his arrogancy. All right, thinking he cannot be touched, bullying the other people, the other nations, the other kings and rulers, and so on and so forth. Not understanding prophecy that these same people you bullying around and trying to punk around is going to be the same people that's going to destroy your empire through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because this is all the Most High's movie, man. All right. Must not never forget that. Verse 31. Behold, I am against thee, thou, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahweh Elohim hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. All right, the time the Lord is about to judge thee. And that time is through World War III. All right, because that World War III is going to send those archers over here. Those, let me see. Yeah, those archers. Yeah, they're going to send those archers over here. Okay. And those people that are going to bend that bow is these other nations that got nuclear capability. They got, a lot of nuclear weaponry. Verse 32. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. America, man. All right, and it's going to be rise no more, risen no more. All right, it's going to fall, and it's never going to be risen up again. You can read that in Isaiah, the 13th chapter, Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and also Isaiah, the 34th chapter. All right, great chapters. At the end of the day, the only things that's going to inhabit this land, America, is desert-like creatures, man. The creatures that's fit for wasteland habitation, like, conditions. That's how the Lord is going to, destroy this place. That's how bad the Lord wants to destroy this place, man. He's going to overkill it righteously. Indignation, righteous anger. All right. Verse 33 is the point. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And who ultimately did that? Esau, Edom. All right. Even though we was under a lot of captivities as a nation, but mainly Esau, Edom, Judah and Israel were oppressed together. All right. During this captivity, America. All right. This were future prophecy. This led up to them, and they refused to let them go because they hold themselves not guilty. Zechariah 11 and verse 5. They hold themselves not guilty. They basically saying, Lord, you know, it's their fault. That's you that punish, you know, your people and put them unto our hands. That's on you. That's on you, Lord. What they ain't got nothing to do with me. But that's how Esau is. All right. A fucking coward, an unfair, unjust coward, man. And can't take accountability for nothing. But like the scriptures say, you furthered the affliction. You made shit worse upon us. You profane, you know, the temples, the Sabbaths. Okay, you destroyed us as a people by pushing that agenda, different agendas at that. Okay, to further genocide the nation of Israel. Okay, Salakia. Jeremiah 50 and verse 34. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. And the only way he's going to do that, he's going to sweep this place with the besom of destruction, with the broom-like destruction of nuclear war. All right, of nuclear destruction, basically, man. Catastrophically. All right. But that's the end of the lesson. Hope it was edifying. Salakia for my slip ups and, you know, stuff like that. And if I was, you know, wrong on something, please leave something in the comment on what I, you know, said throughout the video. But other than that, hope it was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I want to close out by saying, Kahalayam La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. All right, peace, love, and blessings to the elect scattered abroad around the four corners of the earth. All right, the whole earth, but mainly in the great melting pot, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. Shalom, shalom.